Hey guys, we are now live. As you come in the room, make sure you hit the like button on your way in. Smash that like button. We are going to be discussing updates of what's going on. This is really, really crazy. Um, it just gets thicker by the minute, the mess. It just thickens like gravy, like a thick pot of gravy or a stew. And it's really sad. Goomba, her husband, Jaguar Wright's husband, I think he's way out of control. And it's not me just giving my opinion or saying allegedly at this time. Hey, Flowers, can you do me a favor, Flowers? Do you hear any like wind or anything in the background? Because I have my mini fan on and I don't want that to be a distraction. So if you hear any wind, hey Shaniqua, if you hear any wind, guys, tell me yes or no. Like any, wind, like say if I was outside and it was windy. Um, he's out of control. He's trying to gain a bag off of what his wife is going through, which is that she had a mental breakdown. And it's really unfortunate that he's trying to cash in off of this. And again, I'm going to say this and I don't care who likes it. It's not going to be said out of my mouth today, in my opinion, or allegedly, because he said it out of his own mouth. He's supposed to have been doing a interview today on another larger channel holders page today at 1 p.m. I did a premiere video and I updated you guys about that. So I don't know what it is. It's like it pops up that interview premiere that channel holder was gonna show of Goomba telling his side of the story, which was gonna be aired today. But all through the day I've been seeing it, then it disappears. So I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna find it. Most likely, if not today, tomorrow I will do a premiere video, which will be a 10-minute video, summon things up, and then we'll go live and listen to some of the interview. It'll be a live commentary. But it's really sad how people want to talk about content creators reporting this information on the well-being of Jaguar Wright, and also the messiness of Jaguar Wright, and also talking about the exposing people who in this industry that she's exposing these people from can ultimately, like it has, have her life be in danger. And at what cost is it worth having your life in danger when you have really high powered um influencers that can just get rid of you just by snapping their hand, and you're exposing them, but behind closed doors you have things in your own closet you need to clean up. Goomba to me is showing his true colors. I think he's been bitter for a long time with Jaguar, how he was being treated. And I always say the quiet ones are the ones that you have to watch. Goomba certainly always to me appeared as a person that he was a ticking time bomb and he needed to be watched. And I think that Jaguar, in my opinion, took advantage of it. Her being the alpha female, him not to me still being the alpha male. I don't think he's the alpha male at all. I think that she has been in control of that relationship that they've been in for 4 years. And it is what it is. But I just want to let you know that there will be timestamps when the video starts, because I know when I'm doing these commentary lives, if I have a video to present and do a commentary live to it, you guys want to get directly to that part. So timestamps will be pinned in the comment section of this video. And again, please support the channel. And I don't mean with the Cash App or Super Chat, but with liking the video. And welcome to my mods and welcome to my supporters, my subscribers. Make sure also your notification bell is on with the option all, so when I go live, you will be the first one to watch. Make sure when you hit that bell, you hit the notification option all, so that you get all of my notifications so you don't miss anything. So we're going to get on with this. We're going to first start off with the interview that was supposed to be done today with Goomba, spilling the beans, telling his side of the story like he's the victim. The first part will be hearing the trailer of that interview that was being done today at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then we're going to, well, I wouldn't call it a recap because I never shared this on my channel, but then we're going to talk about the King Pain live that 𝗪𝗪 and Jaguar Wright did, and what led up, in my opinion, to Goomba snapping to the point, in my opinion, to no return. So let's get into the video. This is, again, a live stream commentary video, so I will be talking throughout this video. And let's get started now with this.
I'm doing everything. My wife asked me, yo, when I'm doing this, just quiet and watch and learn. I'm doing everything she taught me. So you hypnotized my wife, man.
Talking about 𝗪𝗪.
As you seen, I dropped the magazine. There was one already in the chamber.
Yes.
Everybody that know me know I carry one in the chamber. I don't want this though. I don't know this.
Talking about
I'm military-minded, military trained. You see her with Shaka, and all of a sudden you gotta make your way there? Who sent you?
Right.
So why are you coming around, fam? You moving too fast.
Yeah, he was.
We've noticed that before. Bet. Oh, this is what we're doing? Let's ride, baby. Okay, off and on, off and on, off and on. I sure did. I can find you if I want to. And I grabbed it like this. I said, if you want to shoot me, here, grab it. I'm not dumb. I play dumb very well. I play it very well. We hit 1 million like street stars. What? We beat Charleston White and cut the half. What? Yes, let's go.
What's that? That's the CrossFit?
Brisket nachos.
So before we get into that part of the video, I want to say to you, that's the trailer of the live interview that he did. They were premiering it today at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I have to go look for it after I get off the live, and I definitely will share that with you. I'll do a premiere video, which will be a 10-minute video, pretty much my 10-minute trailer, I call it, of pretty much what we'll probably be discussing tomorrow. And we'll do a live, and I will share that interview with you and give my thoughts. And I also want to hear your opinions on what's going on. But he was talking about in that trailer about 𝗪𝗪. You know, there's smoke with him and 𝗪𝗪. There's no respect for 𝗪𝗪. He feels as though a lot of why they were, you know, in the situation that they ended up with, which was a whole bunch of chaos, 𝗪𝗪 is the cause of it, from what he is saying. Jaguar saying something different, we already know, from hearing her talk on TT's platform and TT recording her from this alleged psych ward. But the fact of the matter is, your relationship with Jaguar Wright has been tainted way before 𝗪𝗪 came in the picture. He just is the one that broke the camel's back. He's the one where you just said enough's enough. I'm tired. Now this dude comes in the picture and you're putting him first, and you just met him. So yeah, he added fuel to the fire, but it was already burning. It was already burning down to the ground. You know what I'm saying? Jaguar Wright has put her husband, in my opinion, as a speaking for him in defense, you have put him in a situation. This man has PTSD, and you're out here exposing people. And one of the things that he is saying in interviews is people being after you. And if people are after Jaguar Wright, allegedly, they're going to be after him. So there's a lot of things that are on his plate, things that he has to deal with, that people, even with in their normal life and their relationships don't have to deal with. This is like drama and stress and some more on level 1,000. It's unnecessary drama. It's just drama just for views and clicks. The same thing that TT, her friend, and Jaguar Wright says that they want her for. They want her for views and clicks, but that's what she wants: views and clicks in a bag. And there's nothing wrong with that. But it's not what you do, it's how you do it. And when you start to bring up old things that happened when you was down with the get down, and now you're trying to get a bag off of it, or you're mad because these people have went on further with their life and they're successful, you see them on TV, and you're hopping apartment to apartment or living with family and friends because you're not stable financially. That is not Jay-Z's fault, Beyonce's fault, or any of these, or Kanye West's fault. Though that is not any of those entities' problem. Why don't people know how to move forward? Why do we use the social media outlet that we have to get up here all the time and try to destroy each other's life? And then we're the first ones to open our mouth saying we as Black people need to stick together, and how you're trying to help a community that's in need, but you're exposing a community that's your own kind as well. It doesn't matter if they have a bigger bag than the poor people or the middle class. It doesn't matter. I'm quite sure if you were there to see all of this shadiness, to expose it, my question is, if birds of a feather flock together, you must be one of those birds. That is my question, Jaguar Wright. Are you one of those birds? Because if you don't get down like that, you shouldn't be associating yourself with people that do get down like that from when you was in the industry, to expose them to the point where you are going bat-ish crazy because you want to feel as though you have to prove yourself. And you're forgetting about the marriage. And the marriage is declining because the exposing and wanting to prove yourself and make a name for yourself and build a brand for yourself is more important than a relationship. And that's how people get hurt mentally, physically, and spiritually. That's how people get hurt. If the dude ain't for you, Goomba, and you trying to follow your dreams, chase your dreams, then let him go, because you're dealing with somebody with PTSD and you're going to get hurt. So we're going to get on to the next part of this video here.
That sounds very good.
When
Oh my
you come
goodness.
here for lunch.
My. What Texas? You know, I heard Texas got some pretty good Mexican food. You know,
Yeah, we got the
outside of
best
San Diego,
Tex-Mex.
I hear like they have like the best.
Thank you.
Tex-Mex. What is
Texas and
that?
barbecue.
That
Texas.
sound like some.
Yeah,
That don't
it
sound
is. It's
authentic.
real indigenous.
Indigenous. She's crazy.
Is it?
Let's get them likes up
Period.
now.
So I was just telling them about your podcast and how you hit 1 million views in 3 weeks.
Crazy,
She's on top of the world.
Okay. Yes, beating out Charleston White and a lot of other podcasters. Okay, up here. I think all of them, girl. You got more views than all of UTK.
You know, I'll tell you something. Considering how irrelevant I am and how homeless I am.
Now I want you to listen to what she's saying. I don't care how many times you saw this live. I'm going to point out what you probably didn't look at this conversation with King Payne. She feels, Jaguar Wright, like she has something to prove. She thought she had something to prove when Solar came into her life. She wanted to prove to Solar, someone who's a freeloader and was trying to use her for a place to stay because Velvet put him out, that she is the king of the castle. She runs the show with Goomba, aka her husband. Excuse me. She's a caretaker of everyone that's around her. And she pressed it. I think she pressed too hard on trying to convince the leech, the person who just attached themselves to that family, which was Solar. You wanted to prove to him that you boss lady, and you ended up in a psych ward, and your husband ended up doing what he saw you do. He said in that trailer, you used to tell him to be quiet and just listen. And he said, my wife taught me to do just what I'm doing. And Goomba, and I'm going to show you on that premiere, he's on that same blue couch in that same studio that they're referring to, King Pain, where she got that 1.5 million on that interview that they did on that channel holders page. Goomba wants to be in the limelight too. And I do believe Jaguar Wright is not lying about some of the things that she says about her husband. Like he's jealous of her. Because if that's not where your career lies or where you want to be, and that's what Jaguar wants to be, in the limelight, on social media, and on the big screen, Hollywood, how are you saying to the world, I'm up here doing this interview on this blue couch where my wife got 1.5 million views because my wife taught me this? What is your alternative motive as her husband, Goomba, sir? Were you taking notes? Did you know that this was going to happen eventually? So you were taking notes, taking classes, so you can duplicate the same thing that Jaguar's doing it to get a bag. See, there's a lot of hypocrites out here in these streets talking about channel holders reporting on this, talking about this, talking about that, making it seem like Jaguar Wright's a victim. But it looks to me like the closest people to her trying to get a bag too, including her husband being one of them. And her friend, who's on live every day with her name in the title, 𝗡𝗘, her friend. Let's abbreviate the full name that she goes by. It's not her government, because I know that that lady is a troll. And I don't need that demonic spirit over here. We already got one that's in a mental psych ward. We don't need the one that hasn't been put there yet harassing my channel. So I will abbreviate 𝗡𝗘. They are trying to get a bag off of you. And I feel as though 𝗡𝗘 is mad about the people that are interviewing Goomba or talking about the messiness of Jaguar and why she's where she's at today, because she wants to get all of the views and she wants to get all the attention, get the whole bag, because Jaguar Wright is her friend. If you was being a true friend, you wouldn't even involve a conversation when you get on your channel about Jaguar Wright. You wouldn't be recording any of those calls from the psych ward. You're doing just what everybody else is doing. But you want to talk about everybody else, but your alternative motive, your mindset is just the same way as the average person who is reporting on this on a daily basis. He's charging $3,000 for interviews. That's crazy. Yeah, for what? For what? To interview a woman who better watch her back, because even if it's just a rumor going around that people are after her, I still would tell her to watch her back, because you can't expose the elite, people with money that can make things go away, and think that there's no repercussions. She wanted to be exclusive and the only one reporting about Jag. Right. She wanted to be the only one, 𝗡𝗘, reporting about Jag, which if nobody else was reporting about her, or if it wasn't but maybe a handful of people, there would be no competition. She would get all the views and she would get the bag. But she's so smart, she's dumb, because you still would never get the bag, 𝗡𝗘, because of your mouth. It's filthy. Nothing about you ladylike. You don't know how to come up here on YouTube on your channel and get the bag. You come up here, you're cussing people out, you're disrespecting people, including yourself. You're smoking blunts on your channel. You're doing everything that is gonna make you not thrive. And the only one is to blame. Because it seems like the whole little circle, the birds of a feather circle, they like to blame and point the fingers on everybody else except looking at themselves, looking at the mirror at themselves, and for the issues that they have that they made for themselves. Happy Monday. So let's keep this going.
And how bullheaded I am.
Just filthy, I know it.
Ooh.
And how tired I am.
Let me tell you that I really like
how
those
I
heels
can't
you
really
had
sing. And you know, I'm just some crazy old that lies to everyone. Considering all of that, if it's all true, love seeing train wrecks then. Because 1 million views in 3 weeks is a whole lot for somebody that is nobody.
She's proud of herself.
Ooh. My.
Was?
Those heels you had on was fire. I said, look at Jag. I didn't know she don't got the heels on. Okay, on period. Okay, you came through. What the hell?
Yeah, don't get me started with that, because that pissed me off. The other day I brought that up. I said to myself, the only time Sean Wavy's name was brought up, she was defending when TT was saying, I don't like Sean, and it was somebody else she said she don't like. I don't like your effing friends. And, you know, Jaguar said, I thought respectfully in mature manner, that's okay. You don't like them. You don't have to. That's that's the way you feel. You're entitled to. And then all of a sudden, Sean does a live because something popped off. That's why I said TT, and I don't feel as though even Goomba, her husband, is being a friend or a support system to her. How in less than 24 hours, Sean Wavy is now on a live, and now he has a fallout with Jaguar. TT is putting a battery in Jaguar Wright's back, and it's at the wrong time. She needs to rest, heal. Maybe she'll snap out of all this. Maybe she'll snap out of it, stop even exposing people, putting her life at risk, and just go on with her life, tell her story of how she was in the industry and the pitfalls that she went through, and not anybody else's stories. And she can still shine. But why put yourself, in this situation where there are true people who do look out for your best interest? They still have to make their money to pay their bills, because some people, this is their income to pay rent, to buy food for their refrigerator. But why are you burning those bridges with these people that you never have fallouts with? Because you have a toxic person that's making it seem like they're trying to support you, but they're hurting you. They want to see you crash and burn because low-key, they're probably jealous of you.
The makeup and everything on set, huh? Girls have makeup and a wardrobe and everything on set, okay? Jaguar came through on that interview. I was like, who is that?
Who is going to go to work?
Oh, that's because of
Period.
I'm not
she plays that. Okay,
I've been trying to tell them. You don't want me to put that on. Wow. Y'all don't want me to put that on. Okay. Everybody go home alone. Everybody go home alone.
That's what TT's doing.
And it's not gonna be because I'm gonna follow me wherever I go. Like my husband stalking me to my ex-boyfriend's house. Somebody said, "What you?"
So nobody knew that this was gonna come. That she was gonna get on live and with Solar and act like she was a victim and say, "My husband pulled a pistol on me. My husband did this. My husband made me walk on the highway." Everyone's devastated. They're surprised. You're talking to another man about your husband. He saw the live. You knew he was going to see the live. Then you let Solar chime in. You were triggering him. And that's why you are in the situation that you are right now. You triggered him. Then you admit, you'll hear her admit, I don't know if y'all heard it, that I think out of the week, 2 days, she was with just her and Solar. How is a married woman even hanging out with a 27-year-old freeloading ex-carbonation member with his mind completely gone, and your husband's at home with your son? Please make that make sense. And you don't think that something was going to come back on you? That you wasn't going to catch a fade, or Solar wasn't going to catch the fade? Come on.
Done to him. I said enough for him. What did he say tonight?
Wow, kind of.
You go wherever you want. I'm gonna find you. Find me then. Give no.
That's love right there. Okay, on period. Girl.
Come on, let's get them likes up if you don't mind.
I miss running after me.
Listen to me. $5. $5 and a $10 off coupon. I got it for you that will chase you like that.
I want it to be love. Okay, on period.
That's crazy.
Girl.
She thinks
I want it to be love.
Yeah. I'm starting to think it's a fairy tale.
Girl.
It just don't work out for me. I really love they all dead. And then I try to make it work with.
Every relationship.
This recording is messed up. I recorded it, but it's not from my recording application I use. So just bear with me. I was kind of frustrated too. I was kind of like going in and out. And towards the end of what I took from this live, it sounded like she was talking out of a can. But did you hear this woman just say, you know, her husband heard it? And I know that triggered him. She said, half the men that she really loved are dead. So basically you're trying to say, you know, you're with your husband, but you really, you know, it's not like that. And the ones that you really want to be with, they're no longer around. You don't think he was going to get triggered?
Okay, on period. Girl.
This is crazy.
I want to be loved.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm starting to think it's a fairy tale.
Now listen, guys. Girl. Listen up. Listen to her again.
It just don't work out for me. I really love they all dead. And then I try to make it work with.
Every relationship
has make me want to kill myself.
You doing too much.
Every relationship has
bumps in the road. Bumps in the road is one thing, but living on an active minefield is a little different. And people keep forgetting. My husband is military. Jump over there, insurgent. Like, no. I'm a civilian. I'm your wife. Like,
that's crazy.
I come in peace.
I know. Where was this energy at then?
You want some brisket?
She thinks this is funny.
You're not no easy cookie to
You know what? Hold on a second. I'm gonna let my new nephew.
Now she's rubbing it in. That's why
give you his unbiased opinion.
Both of y'all caught the fade.
Oh, that's the fine.
You want my
tell us
unbiased opinion. As people pay me to get my opinions, to talk to me, to help them clear things, and I'll tell you from my standpoint, completely free.
Boy, bye. On cue, Nature Boy ordered y'all to take his Timberland boots off, and about 10 of y'all got dropped to your knees and took off that man's boots. Boy, bye.
That what you said is true, and I agree with you, Payne. Love is.
Nature Boy got you making yourself believe that you got sugar in your tank, to the point that he done turned you out with them transgenders, and now you are bi. In my opinion, that is how you became bi. Messing with Nature Boy over there, him forcing you to do stuff you didn't want to do in order to stay at carbonation. Make it make sense, because you know, Solar, I know you. I've been reporting on you since 2019. Do the math, honey.
Very real. My name's King Love on Instagram. Love is love.
I know that's right.
King Love, that's fine. And so, you know, love is not dead, but love is not present in this relationship.
No,
this
she's
is
not
a
out yet.
obsessive thing to where I've watched this beautiful woman who should be glowing, standing at the top, having this crazy support underneath her. And this is your king. This is your man. And she's being life force. And what is she doing though? You would never know it because of how much she goes to work, how much she loves, how much she gives. She's going around everywhere, giving, loving.
Like she's doing you.
She's protected. She get it back. But from the one place where you're supposed to get it back, you don't. And it's consistent.
That's not true.
I'm only speaking from experience. So I'm only speaking from experience in every way.
They know the gun on me today.
The 𝗪𝗫𝗫 show. You said Jag was getting tired of 𝗪𝗛 getting on camera, which we know he's always wanting to be in the limelight. I do know that he was eventually gonna get the boot too. LOL. Mark my words. So I'm gonna put the link up here. You guys are more than welcome to come up here and speak. As long as there's no cussing, please do not. If you come up here cuss, I don't want to hear oops, I'm sorry, because people know me at this point. And if you don't, you're gonna know now. Don't come up here talking like you're in your living room or at home behind closed doors. We don't cuss up here. I don't do videos for my own health. I'm not getting none of my videos demonetized because people don't know how to talk like adults. So if you want to come up, you're more than welcome. Because 𝗪𝗫𝗫, you got me looking at you now because you obviously know Jaguar on a personal level, and I want to hear what you got to say. I'm here in Dallas as well, and it's just sad. It is.
Yeah, see, I love it.
Lord Jesus.
I teach gun safety as well, and he knew what he was doing, but in this moment, something changed. In this moment, something changed.
You want to shoot? You want to shoot?
Well, first off, more specifically, loud safety click off, so you all know. One in the chamber, so you all know.
Dry snitching.
And I'm over here like, I gotta protect you from your protector. I'm ready to jump in the front and take a bullet before.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm sleeping in my car tonight.
You know you slept with 𝗪𝗪. Tell the truth to shame the devil, honey.
Let's talk about the King Love. How long King Love been around?
Well, I'm 27 years old. How long I've been around?
And you're heading nowhere fast. You
but how long have you been around Jag and Goomba?
I feel like I've been around them forever. Forever.
How? So you pronounce your name, sweetie, 𝗪𝗫𝗫𝗪?
Yes. Hi. Yes.
Hi. Peace. So I heard you say that Jaguar Wright was already getting tired of him on the camera. So when you said that, I was like, wait a minute, hold up now. This is more interesting than this live that I'm doing.
This is what I noticed. First of all, peace. Thank you for even having me on here. Mm-hmm. But I was getting into watching her lives on IG on the regular. And I was contemplating on putting them on my own channel, but I didn't know if that would be exploitive or not. I don't know. But I have seen when he started getting on camera right before, the whole situation went down, she was like yanking the phone, like he was like trying to talk. And I saw the body language. She yanked that mug like
Nick, give me this, man.
Right. He was talking too much. Yeah, that's cute at first and whatever, but that's why I personally feel like he drugged her. That's how I personally feel.
Well, it's been allegations from the past that when, for an example, when Carbonation existed and Nature Boy was not in jail, they were saying that they believed that the members that were over there were getting drugged. And the person who allegedly, if anyone was doing it, it was Aya putting it in the food to mind control them. So, it's funny you said that because, a lot of people are questioning it too. What did he give her? What did he tell her to try out? Maybe something like, oh, this will help you with stress and your anxiety. And she may have took it when she was drinking or something. You know what I'm saying? And she got caught slipping because she took whatever he gave her. It could even be a natural herb. Weed is a natural herb, right? It gets you high though. And there's other herbs that are natural, like ayahuasca. And if you right, you feel what I'm saying? That stuff gets you high as a kite.
Here, if I might, and thank you for having me up here too. Yeah. I was actually working with the sister and King Pain and Nosy Ho and 𝗡𝗘𝗫𝗧, right? Mm-hmm. She had reached out. Okay, so I don't even know where to start. I'm so excited.
Well, you're
the first podcaster that I'm actually talking to about this, because I felt so weird. Like I didn't want to exploit the sister. But basically, we were about to work together. Like she called me, like she reached out to me through her live, because I noticed that she was using some of my, not trying to push my stuff, but she used some of my commentary, like some of my analysis of prostitution rap. And I noticed that when she was talking about Nicki Minaj or the industry or whatever, it was some key points she said that I was like, wait a minute. So when she was on the Night and Day channel, I reached in the comments and was like, hey, whatever. So then she was like, on her live, she was like, Tommy Cole Show, DM me. So I DM'd her on IG and I left my number and she called me. And so we was talking. That's right before she started hanging out with that dude, right? Mm-hmm. Her demeanor was mad different. And then I said, me and you have Michael Collier in common. He was my mentor and he was her mentor back in the day too. So we both went on his show, the Michael Collier Morning Show. And we was cool. And she had me in her circle of text, like we was about to do something. She really had a big vision. She was trying to connect all the, like a lot of the Black podcasters together. But it was trip because I don't have a big following or anything yet, but all the other ones do. And let me tell you, that thing that blew up with her and Nosy, I was in that circle. I was in that. But I just, man, I felt that was foul that she recorded her like that. Now, I will say, I did record little bits of us because we had to do what's, a sound check. They did like camera work and sound checks with us. All this visual for her network, Her network is legit, by the way. I know a lot of people are like saying they paid and it didn't work, but I don't know what happened between now and 2 or 3 weeks ago. But when I was working with her, they was preparing and everything. So I don't know. I just feel like this little dude came in the mix. I think he's poisoning her, or because I noticed when they went to Shreveport, I lived in Shreveport too, by the way. When she went down up to Shreveport from Dallas, he was all in the mix, and every time he's around, she's slurring now. Did y'all notice?
She's doing all kind of like she's doing it. She's doing it in this video. You didn't hear me saying, "Look at it. She sounds all drunk."
Yeah.
But she sounds more than just drunk. It's just slurring.
Something. Yeah. Something not cool, man. And I pray that the sister gets a chance to see the visuals of what was going down when he was hanging around. Because then her story started becoming way more, I don't want to say like sinister. Mm-hmm. And then I was talking to my other industry friends and they started telling me, don't do work with her. Do not go on her show. Don't do nothing with her.
She said that there's people after her.
She's entertaining, but don't go on her show. Because I have connections in the industry. I'm an industry person too.
Well, you would get blacklisted if I hate to say that to you, because like I said, her husband just said recently that there are people after her. And
I saw that.
Make a public announcement. Please don't come for my family, not for Jaguar, but like his blood family, because he had nothing to do with it. He has no control over what his wife does. That's what he was making clear.
And her son. He's been getting death threats too.
Wow.
But again, she started hanging with that dude. Then she was hanging with, I don't know if you know the brother from that rap group from Detroit, 𝗪𝗔𝗧𝗖𝗛. She was hanging with his wife. Rest in peace, 𝗪𝗔𝗧𝗖𝗛. He got murdered. Well, I think he was murdered a few years back. From that group. Oh my God.
I don't even. When you said Mac 10, you don't even have to go no further.
No, not Mac 10. 𝗪𝗔𝗧𝗖𝗛. 𝗪𝗔𝗧𝗖𝗛 was J Dilla. It was I got y'all. Somebody Google that. I can't remember the name right now. They had that song. Hey, hey. What you say? What you say? Oh, anyway, she been hanging with some people she shouldn't have been probably around in Dallas. Right. You feel me? And I think they infiltrated her. Period. Like whenever somebody ever does a real movement, they infiltrate it. And I just wish I could have been able to help fortify her more, but I wasn't able to. And then she blocked me. I was still in the circle of text. Like I still would read the text that would come through, But again, at this point, I was nervous about even really being on anything with her because she was saying, she started sounding really outrageous. And again, you mentioned ayahuasca.
Yeah.
That's like the third time I've heard that. And I know that them whatever they call people.
Carbonation.
Thank you. Carbonation folk was really into using those type of things.
Yep.
I'm only speculating, of course. I wasn't there. She didn't talk to me about those things. But again, I took time to watch all of her lives and really study her because not Crucial Conflict. They just came out. Jay Dilla, just Google Jay Dilla's rap group. And he was the one that was murdered in the group, which I thought was.
Keep saying that word, the M word.
oh, yes, ma'am. Sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah. It was always odd how he passed anyway. He was the popular one in the group. But Google it, y'all. I could Google it if that's okay. I'm gonna Google it right now, the name of the group. But to me, that's interesting because they be practicing like I know about Ifa and voodoo and stuff. But yes, you can go. Well, let me see. Jay Dilla rap group. Let me write for you.
Okay.
Slum Village. Y'all heard of Slum Village?
No, I don't know none of them.
That's that neo soul hip hop early 2000s. But anyway, that dude right there is foul. That dude is straight foul, solar right there. And as for the husband, when she started like really banging on Jay-Z with the whole Big L N word and Aaliyah's situation, that's when I really feel like I didn't really want to work with her like that because
that you messing with some powerful entities.
That part.
And not only that, like Kanye West, Jay-Z,
it was just a lot, and
they can make you disappear.
That part, but also Houston is Beyonce. That's like Beyonce. You know what I'm saying? That's her people. And then she started mentioning Jay Prince. Like she really just started going too far up in some mixes. And I wish she would have stayed more focused because she really has a big vision. And a lot of us respected her vision because we have heard or seen some funny business especially in the rap world for the last 20, 25 years. So it wasn't hard to not, feel her. And then we liked the fact that she was seeming like a free spirit that was coming from a sincere space of being damaged in the industry. But if you recall, sister, you said you was building on her like a couple years back. She was really positive about Jay-Z. She was saying Jay-Z was this, Jay-Z was that. So when she flipped it, I kind of felt nervy about that too, because I felt like, what made you change your mind on that? But again,
how much truth is it to it though? Because there's too many people you're exposing.
Right. But if you notice, it was the last couple of weeks when she was with that dude, and she even mentioned she took Molly. You don't ever admit that on live. She said that.
I know. Why would you admit that? Right. A street drug like that.
That part. But again, it could have not been Molly, girl, because she was talking out of her mind. And then and I couldn't even relate to the sister after that. You know?
Because she's extreme and messy, but this was like at the highest captivity.
Like she was like, dare me. Like she was saying, sue me or kill me kind of stuff.
Yeah, all kind of stuff like that.
That's to me, ayahuasca, Molly, alcohol, plus this
like a cocktail of the
that part. Cocaine. They was saying that too. I don't know that for a fact, allegedly. Not trying to disrespect that sister again.
Right,
but
you said allegedly, so you're not accusing her of nothing.
No,
you're just giving your opinion.
And I'm just coming. This is my really first time talking on this because I didn't feel right, like talking on her, like that, because I really respected and admired some of her boldness, But again, like we all agreeing, it got out of hand the last few weeks. It's like she was trying to call them upon her, kind of like. And you don't want that type of smoke. Like, you don't want that type of energy.
You don't want that. She got her peoples mixed up. And let me just say this to you, too. I think that she's addicted to the limelight. But she's doing it the wrong way. And I feel as though it's not what you do, it's how you do it.
That part. And
she's not doing it the right way.
And, just to say this, and I respect, thank you for having me on here. On my channel, I interview artists. Like I interview artists from the 90s and early 2000s that really didn't necessarily get their shine. I mean, Coolio's on my page too, but man, and that's another story for another day. But I really invited her to just come on the show just to, focus on the music because she really is very, very talented. And have an opportunity to hear music that y'all ain't even heard yet, man. She got music. She's working on an album, and it's the most amazing R&B I'd heard in many years. And I'm not just saying that. I wish I would have I was trying to be respectful of their privacy. I didn't want to record. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but if you're trying to get your channel monetized, you have to be careful what you put up, what you say and what you put up,
Yeah.
because you can get hit with copyright strikes.
Okay.
And
Okay.
and then when you get monetized, why put up something and you ain't getting paid for your efforts?
That part.
I
I'm
mean,
not
like
getting
me, I'm
paid.
not up here because it's a hobby. I'm up here because it's my job.
Right.
And I get paid for this.
It kind of right now is a hobby for me. I wish it wasn't. I do want to get paid.
It's
I'm not
always a hobby for everyone when they first start out, because nobody gets paid right away. Even though
okay.
you're working for YouTube, you're not getting paid yet until you get page authority. And page authority only comes with consistency on your channel. You can't
Okay.
just put up a video whenever you feel like it. You literally have to put up a video every single day for maybe a few years. Every single day, maybe you might fall off, some days or some months, but for the most part, you have to be consistent,
Hmm.
and that's how you get your page where it
I've been
needs to be.
tempted to do the everyday thing. I just, I get nervy about doing the thank you, family. Thank you for that. I was trying to do at least a weekly thing, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? But every day I see y'all out here putting it down, putting it
Right.
down. And then they really got on Goomba because, when she started talking that wildness, he would just sit back. I think as a husband, maybe he should have been more like baby, but then he probably has tried to do that and she'll scream at him. I've seen
Mhm.
that. I've seen, and I didn't want to talk about this, but hey, she has screamed on him. I've heard her scream
Oh
on
yeah,
him.
I have too.
And,
I really feel like she, just like even publicly, she had the upper hand on him, and he's like at the point where he's at his wits' end. He's about to just go upside the head.
and he don't want to do that because then he gets arrested. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I
Mhm.
get it. It's a trick bag. Gia Scott Heron, yeah. I did that with her a couple 3 nights ago. Gil Scott Heron's daughter. You know the guy who said the revolution will not be televised and all that. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, well, anyway.
Don't give me
Um
the line.
but yeah, so that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to not I wasn't trying to dig into the YouTube streets like that. I was gonna keep that to Armand and CTV, all them, but okay,
I feel like
cool.
if a channel holder is not getting messy about doing commentary on Jaguar Wright or
That
any entity,
right,
then there's no problem. You have
right.
your right to express yourself and speak your mind and give your own opinion on this
Okay.
situation. If you put people in your business, they'll stay in your business. So as long as you get on here and say Goomba did this to me, and Goomba saying she did this to me, and Solar came in our relationship and did this to us, then people are gonna have an opinion, and
Hmm.
that's why we have these platforms.
Okay. That's a very well said way to do that. Thank you so
Hmm.
much.
Yeah.
Um, and that was some good, helpful information.
Well, I
Uh,
try to be
Cause
helpful
she
to
ain't gonna
people.
be
But
locked up forever, and I do want to be respectfully peace with the sister. I didn't want to go in there smashing or bashing, because I see a lot of people are getting thousands of subscribers just by putting her name in the content. You know what I mean? And I wanted it to. And the reason I clicked into you was because I do feel like you're more, I would say, journalistic with it.
right.
You're not coming messy ish.
No, I'm not gonna do that. Cause see,
And I
you
like
gotta
that.
wipe your feet off when you come into somebody's house. You can't, be walking in the rain, stepping in mud, and then walk through somebody's house and open the refrigerator and think you're gonna do whatever you want. And it's the
Right.
same thing when you get on somebody's platform. If you know the rules and what you can and cannot do, why come and not wipe your shoes off when you come on into their house and disrespect their platform? Because you're not gonna win and you're not going to get nothing out of it.
I
So
mean,
it's
they are getting subscribers. I just know she's not going to be locked up forever, and
mm-hmm.
I just don't want to disrespect that relationship because we do have quite a few industry friends in common. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't want to disrespect that because maybe she might respectfully give me an interview because of the fact that I didn't come messy.
Right.
Maybe.
Well,
I don't know.
I'm a channel holder, and anyone that knows me, put a Y in the chat. I don't care about no interviews with nobody. I blew my channel's not, when I say blew my channel up, I mean as in I grew my channel to where it's at, and it's not even nowhere yet. But what I'm saying
It's
is,
getting there.
no, it's getting there. But what I'm saying is, I'm not Oprah Winfrey. I never, made myself out to be. I'm not a journalist. I do commentary. I never went to school with it. It's no book you read or no school you go to. This is just in me. I'm a very talkative person. I like to be, I like to articulate myself. And I said, why not get paid for it? So
That's right.
I don't need to have a come up by having someone on my channel doing an interview for an audience. I can do the baby step, crawl before I walk, because I'm gonna get there either way.
Right on.
I don't need to have these people on my interview. I could care less if I never got an interview from Jaguar Wright.
I feel you. But that's my
thing. Right. If that's your thing, right, I was gonna say, but if that's your thing, then that's great.
But aside from that, not even about the interview, it's just that, again, we know similar people. Like I said, Michael Collier is a good friend of both of ours. And I wanted, he was only with feminine energy. I wouldn't say it's feminine. You know what? We overuse that terminology to me. I feel like just because he was being patient with his wife, or
hold on for 1 second. Can y'all make sure y'all get them likes up? We have almost 170 people in here, and them likes look like they're on a diet. Come on, let's try to get them likes up.
I think that the fact that we're using the term feminine and masculine so much lately, from what I've observed of Goomba, I don't think he's a feminine. I think he was just very patient with the wife. He knew that
he ain't no alpha male. He might try to portray himself now because
I don't even know if I like alpha males anymore. They're abusive to me. They're toxic as hell. I'm not interested personally, but I don't want no milk toast nigga either. Like that dude in the back seat.
N-word, sweetie.
Oh, sorry.
That's
sorry.
Right.
There's a fine balance. Like, you can be tapped in with your sensitivities. Like, my father was nowhere near a ruffian, but he wasn't no fragile beta either. He was just a kind person, and I kind of gave it to him like that. You know what I mean? I feel like Goomba was not a soft mouse. I feel like he just had a lot of patience because, the sister seemed like she was kind of blowing up. You don't want to blow up that spot.
Yeah, but
you know what I mean? But I wouldn't say he was alpha or beta. I just think he was just exhibiting patience with his wife, who he knew they both have mental health issues. You know what I mean? And again, I am married to an artist. His name is Volume 10. He's a rapper from the 90s. He did that song, Pistol Grip Pump on my lap at all times, right? And I'm not going to tell his mental health or business, whatever. But in our relationship, I also noticed that, you definitely just have to have a lot of patience when you're dealing with artists, and also just, again, the mental health thing. He just was seeming, when drugs are involved, it changes a lot of things.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And I would just say that, just to conclude, because I don't know how long you'll allow me to be on here, but I just feel like the drug aspect with this loose cannon young man in their mix, and the husband not feeling like he could put his foot down because they have business together. When you're married and you have business together, it's not so simple as breaking up per se.
Like a boyfriend and girlfriend.
Right. Like they literally got this dollar.
You're invested. Right.
Right. And then he felt protective of her. He's very protective of her. Like he was kind of like, the reason I think they even got together was he seemed like a comforter. Like he was like, he's military. He's not no jerk. He's not no weak man in that sense. I feel like she had him around as a protector, based on the things she was out here articulating. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't disrespect his manhood like that, but I would say that other dude, the one, the backseat rider,
right? Solar, right?
Yeah, that fool. I do feel like he is more beta, based on I've studied.
Definitely.
I studied Nature Boy and all them people before he got locked up and all that. And I feel like those young men, unfortunately, were distracted with, like, they're so close to the truth in some ways. But again, drugs make a big difference when you're building. Yeah. And if they're not used properly, let me see, Twee, I feel like it has something to do with what she saw in Hollywood. Absolutely. I mean, listen, I'm going to give you a little bit of my background now. See, for Coolio to be on my channel, I must know something, right? He was my manager for a few years, and he took me around, and I got to see a lot of things. I've been up to those record labels. I've been to a lot of those industry parties. I've been on Martin. I've done a lot of TV. I've done commercials. So I'm saying again, I've been around
You've
the
been on
game.
Martin Lawrence show?
Yeah, I've been on there a
Okay.
couple times. And I've
Okay.
also, you know, even recent, I'm on Netflix right now, as a matter of fact.
Oh
And
wow.
yeah, I'm doing like an animated voiceover thing. But I'm
Oh.
saying I'm in the mix. I've been to Netflix. I've been in the actual building. I know the politics, a lot of the sciences. I've been in those industry meetings, very beta. I've been in those industry meetings where they planned our rap, our hip hop, where they destroyed it on purpose. You know, Coolio was saying some heavy stuff in our interview. I'm thankful that he did one of his last interviews with me. I'm one of the last ones, one of the few. I'm honored that he did that. You know what I mean? And he built real heavy. He wasn't talking no silly stuff. He was talking about things that might have positioned him to be demised. You know what I mean?
He even which I think is a real one, said that, you know, him getting this opportunity to rap and, you know, open doors being open, that saved him from drugs, you know, because he, you know, he did
Yeah.
struggle with drug addiction,
Yeah.
and it made a lot of things different for him,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So, you know,
I'm
he
sincere about that. He was my manager from 94 to 98. I was signed to Boys to Men's label. I saw how Sony sabotaged them and put them on a tour for 2 years, which was very disrespectful at the time. They was trying to
right.
start their own label in Motown, and Sony had conflicts. That's a whole nother story. If you ever want me to build on some industry stuff, I could. Um, I used to hang out with all those industry kids from the 80s. Like I'm telling my age now, child. But
Well, I'm from the 74, so I
oh,
don't care
okay.
if you tell my age.
Okay. We around the
Yeah,
same age.
yeah,
But so I'm class of 90. Woo, woo, woo. And
right.
but I used to party with all those little celebrity kids, and I've seen a lot about, you know, things that they still don't really speak about in that industry. Yeah, I haven't slept right since Coolio passed, to be honest with you. He died September 28th, and I really haven't been sleeping well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we can definitely, sis, whenever you want me to come on, ever, I could build with folks on how to get into the animation game, whatever.
Right.
Voiceover, all that. We could build on, talk about all that.
Do you have an Instagram page?
Yeah, I'm Tamiko
Okay.
Show.
Okay, so I'll look you up and start
Yeah,
following you on
Tamiko
there.
underscore show. And thank
Okay.
you again. I
Hmm.
really like your show. And I'll
I'm
be
gonna check
sharing
your
it.
stuff out too.
I'm gonna share it on my Facebook. But
And
yeah,
I'm
real,
also gonna I want you to start coming onto the platform. You know, like I said, I don't mind people coming up here long as they're not using controversial words, cussing,
yeah,
profanity.
I'm
You know what
learning.
I'm
I'm
saying?
learning.
Yeah, it'll
Thank
take some
you.
time, but you know, I like the way you speak.
Thank you. I
I don't, you
appreciate
know,
that.
like I said, I could be ratchet when I'm in my house behind closed doors, but I try not to get up here and get too jiggy with it, because you know you're in somebody else's house. You gotta
Correct.
know how to,
Correct.
you know, be a
No, you keep it a
chameleon.
buck though. That's why I
Yeah.
enjoy you. You're funny. You're funny and you keep it real.
Thank you,
I
thank
really
you,
enjoy it. But thank you
thank
so
you.
much for the opportunity to talk on here. But if
Hmm.
you go check out that Coolio interview, he's building. He's building about us being the Black Indians. He's talking about adrenochrome. He's talking about a lot of different things. And I respected and appreciated him as my mentor.
Hmm.
You know, he was a good mentor. He never did no funny business with me. I used to babysit his rest in peace. His ex-wife just passed a month after he passed. Josefa Salinas. I
Hmm.
used to babysit his children when he used to do the MTV stuff. Like he used to do a lot of back in the '90s. They used to have rappers or artists do athletic things, right? So what do they call it? I forget what it's called, but Coolio used to play like baseball or basketball with different artists or whatever.
Hmm.
And I used to babysit his children. I was kind of an assistant. He respected me and the fact that I was in school at the time.
Hmm.
So he and Josefa used to let me borrow one of their numerous cars to go back and forth to school, and they were just supportive of me finishing college and all kinds of stuff. And really good people, man. Really good people. You know,
Right.
that
I
last
like
year,
this. I'm glad we're able to hear these stories from real people.
yeah,
Much,
yeah.
much appreciated.
The
Yes.
last year of his life, like man, I live in Las Vegas, and he lives in Las Vegas. He lived in Las Vegas, and so we were gonna connect on some things right before he passed, and I knew he was sick. And what annoys me, I'll say, is that I called him the day he died. You know, I called him that day. That's why I'm all jacked up because I could feel, even in the interview, if you ever watch it, he's got lung issues. He's always had asthma, and he's always had like breathing issues. And I have been wanting to go over to where, his house, and bring him some lemon, lemons and some slippery elm, and just things to help get the mucus out on a simple level like that.
Right.
I just didn't get to him fast enough, and for days before he passed, it was like call Coolio, and I kicked myself because I didn't. I was procrastinating. I was dealing with my own husband stuff, like.
Right, I get it.
I just didn't call him, so I'm still feeling guilty, sad about that a little bit.
Right.
And
things happen.
But so I can relate to Jag in regard to just having seen a lot. I don't know her level of how much, I mean, she was messing with Common and she was messing with 𝗪𝗪𝗪. Both of those I've met, I know what she's talking about in those experiences a bit. Tomiko, TOMEICKO. Yeah, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Japanese 70s kid. What can I say? Mom was Buddhist, but
mm-hmm.
but yeah, that's it. I could relate to her with some things, but some things I don't know. You know what I mean? Beyonce being a slave. I think most artists are slaves when they get those contracts. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They don't really have a lot of choice and decision in the matter. I've been in over 120 some odd music videos. I worked with everybody and their mama in hip hop. I was not the video vixen though. Like I was the partier. I'm that chick. I was one of them first to wear afros in the late 90s, early 2000s in music videos and commercials and stuff. Now everybody does it. But I was the first. I was the first in those areas, in those arenas. Mm-hmm. And I've seen a lot, and I've gotten to hang out with a lot of those artists. And like I was with Puffy. I did Ain't Nobody Gonna Hold Me Down with Mace and all that. I've done a lot of videos. And that night Biggie had the party in LA, I was supposed to go with them. I was hanging with Biggie and all them earlier because they was working on 𝗪𝗪𝗧. I was on the set because I had a crush on the director, who was Paul Hunter. I had a crush on his brother. Mm-hmm. So I was on the set just hanging out. But they had invited me, his crew, Puffy and all them's crew had invited me to go to ride with them to the party. But I was dating this dude and he was jealous and he didn't want me to go, so I didn't go.
Right. You thinking about that now, huh?
All of that. But as for Beyonce, I've only met her mother. I've hung out with Beyonce's mom and Nelly and Kelly, when Kelly and Nelly did that song. Remember that song? I did that, I do. And
I love that song.
I'm in that video. Yeah.
Oh, okay, wow.
I met Beyonce's mom on that set, and she was the coolest lady ever. And me and Kelly wear the same size shoe, big feet, 11s. Thank you, country feet. Things like that. Like I just remember little cute fun things like that about different artists. I don't have any bad memories, except I didn't like Jermaine Dupri at all. I call him the Weasel. And I didn't like Mac 10. I thought he was gross on set because of the way he treated the women. The way they treated the women was really disrespectful. But I've had a chance to meet Mac 10 since then, so I don't want to put that bad taste in people's mouths. Everybody grows. Because my husband is volume 10 and Mac 10 was the replacement. I'm going to tell you a little scoop on that. So my husband, he did this song called Pistol Grip Pump, which is still the hot song at the clubs. And he said a line that disrespected Ice Cube. And Ice Cube basically tried to blacklist my husband. But I don't use black in the negative, by the way. I say gray list. But and so Ice Cube brought out Mac 10 to replace my husband, volume 10. That's why he gave him the 10. They kind of looked similar, had the same kind of rap flow. He did that on purpose. So I just want to side note that. But yeah. So there's a lot of tricks and trades, and yes, a lot of people do practice what the average Christian person would call witchcraft or spells or whatever. But if you're considered not just limited to one belief system, they would probably say they practice like African spirituality, or they would say that they're practicing a type of voodoo or something like that. And there's Wicca. A lot of the European types, they practice Wicca, but a lot of the black folk, they practice like a voodoo or Ifa or Santeria or something like that. That's what I would say. from my observation. Now, there are people who are Satanists, and there are people who are Luciferians, and there's Kabbalahs, and there's all kinds of different factions and stuff. But anyway, I've just been around, y'all. Been around a lot of them celebrity kids that you know, you think you're hanging out with these kids and that you're gonna be put on the TV show with them. Mm-hmm. That's what I thought. Right. But come to learn, really and truly, that's not how it works. They really were. A lot of them were being molested, and now they're revealing some of that. Y'all remember that TV show, Charles in Charge? Remember that show?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so me and the girl from that show, we're still cool. Well, at least Facebook cool at this point. And she just revealed that Chachi, y'all know who Chachi is if y'all old like me. Scott Baio was messing with her on the set. You know what I mean? Right. And I was like, you should come on my podcast and talk about that. But she won't.
Right. Some of them like to
just keep Corey Haim, a lot of them folks was into a lot of things, man. A lot of but let me tell this part that nobody has presented like this. I'm not trying to excuse the industry, but one thing I will say, hanging out with Corey Feldman and Corey Haim and Alyssa Milano and all these kids, when you're like, you get to become a legal adult at 14 in California. If you have $4,000, well, in the 80s, it was $4,000. These kids are making like $80,000 a week, $100,000 a week, stuff like that. They're considered an adult. Yeah, Corey Haim, he used to come hang out. I went to Hollywood High. I'm just the classic, right? Yeah. I'm from Chicago, but I moved to Hollywood, LA when I was like 13, 14. But there's evil in all in everything, okay? You can even use certain proverbs and certain psalms to put spells on people. So don't get that twisted.
Yeah.
I just wanted to mention that.
You're right about that.
But at Hollywood High, you do get exposed to a lot of information, a lot of different types of people, very fascinating situation. And I was always an observer type. Like I didn't just tap into everything. You know, Ricky Schroeder, I'm hanging out with Alfonso Ribeiro, all those kids, you know. Quincy Jones's daughter, Kidada, shout out if she ever listened to this. All them types. I didn't like Tupac, by the way. I knew they was going to make him a good guy when he died. I knew that. But he was not, I didn't like him. I met him when I did the video. I used to hang out, my crew with Snoop, Warren G, and all them. I went to Cal State, Long Beach. I just had an amazing, great life, I'm telling you. But I started hanging out with them when we did It's a Dog Eat Dog World. I'm in that video. I'm in a gang of them. But Tupac was on the set of that one. And I didn't like his energy, personally. I thought he was gross. Sorry. The guy rested dead, but I didn't like him at the time. And I just didn't respect him at all. I thought he was very rude to people. By the time I met him, you know. Yeah, Corey Haim, man. Corey Haim. It was sad. Corey Haim was the one about Corey Haim was really sad. That was a cool dude, okay? He used to come hang out with us at Hollywood High all the time. And all of a sudden, you know, his demeanor started changing. He started smoking crack, all that kind of stuff. Oh, yeah, Alfonso Ribeiro. Let me tell you a little side note. He never, a lot of people buying prisons. We've been talking about that for like 20 years. Janet Jackson owns a prison, too.
She does?
Yes, she does. Or she used to invest in the prison. The prison industry complex.
And so did Bob Barker.
Bob Barker, Fubu.
Yep.
A lot of people invest in the prison industry complex. And if you ever look at any of my interviews on my page, J-Ro from the Alcoholics, he talks about how he moved to Sweden for 15 years because he didn't want to be subjected to rapping about stuff he didn't want to rap about, because he was in that meeting too that the Busy Bone be talking about. People gonna come for me about Tupac. That's fine. That was my experience with, brief experience. I didn't like hang out and know him like that. I didn't like how he was behaving on set. I didn't like it.
Right.
But I wouldn't wish death on nobody. You know what I mean? That's sad how he passed too. Alfonso Ribeiro, yeah. He didn't like black girls. That was my thing. Like I had a big old crush on Alfonso Ribeiro when I was like 15, and he to my face told me I don't talk to black girls. So I was cool. Yeah. He was like, I don't date black girls. So, and basically he don't really
basically making it clear. Maybe he was getting a vibe.
I was kind of trying to holler, you know what I'm saying? It was a teen club. We all used to go to this teen club called Alfie's Private Teen Club. and you had to be invited. Like Drew Barrymore and all those kids would be there. And at the time, Drew Barrymore was hot, girl. She
Wait a
was
minute, back up. So he said that
to my face.
So what made him say that? Now
because I was like, hey, I think I was I crushed on him, but my other homegirl, shout out Rochelle, she liked him too. So I was kind of like, hey, my friend Rochelle, she kind of trying to holler, whatever. And he was just like, I don't date black girls. And if you ever look at Alfonso pictures of him on Google, you'll see he ain't never with no black girl. So
well, he's married because I'm on Instagram.
He ain't with no black girl.
No, he's married to a Caucasian woman.
I'm not making this up, so I'm just saying.
Let me share this right now, talking about that. Then we're gonna get back into the live. I want to finish that up because I gotta cook.
Pepsi. Yeah, that Pepsi commercial is what made me think about some Alfonso. Okay, sorry.
That's okay. See, that's a picture of him there. So let's see when that picture was when he got married. October 13th, 2022. I guess he got married then. 10 years ago. Wait a minute. It says 10 years ago I turned my best friend into my wife. It says you've made me the happiest man in the world. So yeah, this is his wife. So they've been together. This was 10 years ago, but he put this wedding picture of them two back on his Instagram page on October 13th, 2022. So well, this was 10 years ago.
Him and the other Tatiana Ali, they're not American black anyway. So they're like the Panamanian, Belizean, whatever.
Yeah,
so
right. Panamanian. He definitely looks Panamanian.
They tend to not. My baby daddy Panamanian. They tend to not think they black. So
I grew up with this guy, and he actually could be brothers with him. He looks just like him.
Yeah.
But listen, I'm gonna get back to the live. I definitely want you to. Thank you. I was gonna say I definitely want you to come back on to the live.
Yeah.
And we can build.
Yeah. Speaking about the entire.
Thank you so much. Thanks for everybody listening and clicking on and joining to be a subscriber.
Anytime you come on, if you have something to say, always feel free to know that I welcome anyone that wants to come up on the platform to talk. Long as we're respectful to each other, I have no problem with that.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
All right, y'all. Welcome, I'm back in the audience.
All right. Talk to you later, sweetie. Okay, let's finish this.
No, I'm not. It seems like I'm speaking to the entirety of the relationship. I'm talking about the present reality of the relationship. What they've gone through and where they've been made beautiful. Oh, and trust me, I've seen it. I'm 4 wives in. And I just got my wife. Let me not say too much. But I know I deserve love. And I'm going to make sure that I have love. But you know what the difference between me and men? Like what we experienced is that I will fight for love. And if you look on my page, my most recent video,
you know what? Hold on a second. Let me set the room. I learned that from a good friend of mine. Let me reset the room. King Love on Instagram. My new nephew Solar is not just a visitor in my life. I've just hired him. He's going to be my full-time personal executive assistant and help me build my staff and my interns. And
King.lov.
It's LOV3, not E.
Yeah.
Okay, period. Yes,
I already
follow me, B.
I followed you first.
Don't be weird.
So understand this. For the past 2 weeks, we've been in each other's lives, and we've pretty much been together every day since we filmed the podcast last Monday. Him and Shaka came on, and we began talking about, what it is to be a true believer and how you get caught up in a cult. Mm-hmm. And the guys, we instantly knew it. Like the next conversation, I would love it if you could be present, because we're not calling it Carbon Nation no more. We changed the name for the refugees and the survivors. The people that's down with it, that's down with the sacraments and the Siemens. They the Carbon Nation.
Who was the Carbon Nation? You was
I was the Carbon Nation.
Oh,
I had this mute button on. Let me tell you something. I can't stand that smirk on Solar's face. That's why he got that beat down. Because it doesn't matter whether or not Goomba or Zumba, whatever his name is doing what he's doing right now to Jaguar Wright. He had no right to involve himself in that situation. That's why you got a fade, Solar. That's why you got a fade. They were triggering this man from a distance, and they caught a bad one, both of them. She's in the psych ward, and Solar's hopping house to house to have somewhere to lay his head.
Oh, you're the guy.
Yeah, I'm Solar. I was right next to 𝗪𝗪𝗧 all the time, more than his wife.
He and Velvet have a dalliance and a connection and a soul tie.
My. A lot of people have been telling me, asking me if Jaguar Wright.
Tamiko, you still up here or something? You had something to say, sis? I don't know. All right, so let me finish.
Yeah, no, they said I'm the priestess.
And I was like,
they said I'm the high priestess. And I said, well, if I'm the high priestess, I'm the new sheriff in town. I'm gonna make some changes around this house. So for those who have defected and are now refugees from Carbon Nation, we now are calling it Carbon Island. Hashtag Carbon Island. Everybody get out of the nation, come to the island, share your experiences. We're putting together a nice little art sanctuary. It's gonna be lovely.
So
he's a refugee right now.
What about your husband? We're putting together an art sanctuary. What about your husband? You're literally on live. I can only imagine how many people was in King Payne's live stream when they did this. And you're sitting up there throwing salt on your husband's name, talking about how we got PTSD from the military, from the war, and bigging up Solar. And you wonder why Solar caught a fade. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Let's try to get him up to 100 likes.
Definitely. And if you look at my story, it's now. And you'd be proud of me.
So when your boy gets out, are you going to go back?
Well, it's over. When I left, everybody else left. Right when everybody was sitting around. If I was there to this day, he'd probably be out of jail. We probably all still. But when I left, everybody else requested to leave as well. And then shortly days after, those who didn't, they all left. It was over.
There's no something that I'd like to say as a witness to his life for now. 5 days straight, we've been together. And for the past 3 days, we've been together for the 24 hours. And so I've gotten.
She said for 5 days straight, they've been together. I hope y'all are listening. And again, that's why Solar caught the fade. And 3 days straight, they were together for 24 hours. And you know her husband wasn't there for 24 hours when they were hanging out, driving and drinking, because he don't like Solar and he was trying to tell her to get rid of him in the first place. That's why Solar caught that fade. He better be lucky that's all he caught and not a bullet.
To listen to him have his conversations with Velvet. And I had a very harsh word for Velvet. And I feel so bad about it now. Because I have to remember, no matter what Velvet has done, she's a victim of a situation that made her compromise everything she thought she knew, everything that she believed in. And, you know, my husband, our argument today started over them.
Wow.
Me and my husband were arguing about Velvet and Solar. And my husband was like,
you should never let outside situations affect your relationship.
Well, hold on, you gotta understand. Let me tell you how it happened. So Velvet had him blocked. She was over it. But then we started working, and we've been building the camaraderie. And now you're coming on full time for the company. And Velvet, I guess she saw something new. She saw something different.
Says what? I believe it.
So Velvet started reaching out. Now, when me and my husband first talked about it, he said, you know you don't like that girl. You know you don't trust that girl. And I was like, I know I don't. I said, but that's a 27-year-old grown. Whatever happens, whether it go good or go bad, it's only going to give him more. It's going to make him more knowledgeable. If it works out, it's going to make him more loved than he already is. Like, whatever it is, he got to get out of that, but we don't got the right. I want her gone. I want her out of the picture. She this, she that. Wait a second. This is what me and my husband talked. And I said, listen to me. I said, I love you, baby. But I think you need to be worried about our marriage and not their relationship. Like, we got our own issues.
I don't know what the hell you was talking about. I was talking about.
So anyway, I'm like, let's focus on us and let's let the kids who are adults do them. So he on the phone with Velvet. And my husband, for the past 2 days, she a clout chaser. She a clout chaser. She only here because she trying to get some screen time with you. And blah, 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 blah. I was like, I said, I find that offensive because you don't know what young boy working with. Young boy might have a sprung. It might have absolutely nothing to do with me. Let's not necessarily just jump to the paranoid she's clout chasing because he's around Jag. I've seen him. I took him to Louisiana. I had to pry the men and the women off of him. Everybody was in love with you. Everybody was in love. All the gay boys was ooh, and all the women was and everybody was so. I lied to you now. He got beads. They put beads on him. I'm telling you.
So my question is, what exactly is he doing for you? Okay, on period. Because for the past 2 weeks, okay, your behavior has been different. Okay, and it sounds like he stems from this around you for the past 2 weeks. What's going on with him? When? I
do.
I need to come to Dallas.
Sean,
come on
come to Dallas.
Down to Dallas. You need to see.
Talk about it. Talk about it.
What I did, what I will say, long and short.
Okay, on period.
What I will say is this. I did tell my husband that if he ever pulled another gun out on me again, I was walking out. And he did pull a gun on me today. And I did get out of my car. And I was about to hitchhike on I-20 West because I couldn't go back in that car.
Now, did he pull a gun out on you or so large?
He has no reason.
He was flashing it at everybody. He was just nuts.
No reason to mess with me. So he's nice and sweet, but this was the first time he's ever yelled at me, blatantly disrespected me to the point to where I'm from, you're not asking for words, you're not asking for a conversation. There's something to do immediately in that moment. And
So you ain't gonna bust a grape in a fruit fight. You didn't when he was hooking off on you, and you won't if you get into another fight tomorrow. Boy, bye.
And it's a new day and age, and I'm a new person, and things are different. She's big. We're online. There's a number of factors here to where I'm not going to destroy a kingdom off of a
My husband don't want me to be famous. Listen to me. I told you this before. My husband don't want me to be famous. Every time you start trying to slide in the DMs, like people don't understand the kind of pressure it is to live with a veteran who's shell shocked. Like somebody tried, he almost died in an IED blast. What is it? IUD? IED. In an IED blast. Yeah, because of IUD.
Nope, I don't think it's a storyline. I think that it's a bunch of messy, like serious mental health issues. We all got issues, but I'm talking about issues that are abnormal. All of them. Birds of a feather flock together. And these kind of people are messy.
That's the contraception. Yeah. He got very scary tonight. It just got very scary tonight. And I left because I knew I wasn't going back down. Because for me, today I found out some really big news. I did something that not everybody does, and especially not Black women, to have a 1 million view video in less than a month on YouTube.
Wrong with y'all being on her job, doing her work. Y'all understand that this is everything that's going on behind that, but she pushing through it because she made a commitment and she real. She got character. And if you go back in the track history, everybody she's ever loved is dead. They're dying. All of them. So what does love got to do with it? But she's is love. She is love.
I love that little nigga more than you'll ever understand.
She is love. How you want to
pretend like
he sounds so crazy.
God
she is love.
And let no man, okay, take apart what God put together. Okay.
Don't ever make it.
Yes.
Don't ever make it look like I'm using love against God ever again, because I literally teach that God is love.
I never made it like you use love against God. I said God is.
You're not
okay.
no smear online.
He's
My name's King Love. My name is King Love. They like to call me Sassy. And the reason.
So, anyways, you know, cause he's that's the drunk talk, and I don't want to hear it and stuff. But you know, this is just the beginning of the mess that's the happen when Jaguar gets out. It's really sad to say that, but just in my opinion, and just watching her over the years and how she's been running rampant through social media, Jaguar Wright is going to be resting for some time, and when she gets out, she gonna be on a rampage. It's gonna be on, and I just hope that nobody gets hurt in the process or herself. So I'm gonna get off. I'm not gonna stay on here too long. I definitely will be on here tomorrow with some more updates. The interview I heard was changed with Goomba. He was supposed to do an interview today at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. They changed it to tomorrow. So we're definitely going to it'll be a premiere video, 10-minute premiere video, and then a live stream sometime in the, afternoon. No earlier than 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, no later than 6 p.m. I will be going live, and we'll be doing a commentary video, me giving my opinion and doing some commentary on that interview. Okay? So it says, I get what you're saying because they invested their money wisely and she doesn't. She should be. And yeah, you're right. So listen, make sure y'all hit that like button on the way out. Thank you for getting it at least to 100, even though we had a lot of people come through this live, and those likes should be looking a little bit more better than what they are. I'm still grateful for the 100 likes. Put some hearts up into the chat on your way out. Let's show some love. Let's show some love. I'm going to get off. Thank you, First Lady, sweetie. And thank you for hitting that like button. Y'all stay blessed. I love y'all, and I'm out. Put them hearts up into the chat. Don't forget to put the hearts in the chat before you leave. Love y'all. Mwah.